Meghan and Harry warned don't expect others to play by rules after break from protocol. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry were warned not to expect the British media to play by the rules after the Sussexes broke from royal protocol after the birth of their son Archie. The second half of the explosive BBC Two documentary The Princes and the Press was broadcast last night. The episode saw journalist Amal Rajan analyze the royal family's tumultuous past 3 years that has seen the birth of Harry and Meghan's son Archie and the royal tours of the Sussexes and Cambridges. The documentary then explores the circumstances surrounding Harry and Meghan's decision to step down from royal duties. Mr. Rajan also considers Princess Diana's experiences with the press and the implications they may have had on her sons. A portion of the episode explores the couple's break in protocol, by foregoing a photo call on the hospital steps as is tradition, after the birth of Archie. Instead, the press were reportedly told to head to Windsor when Meghan went into labor for a briefing. When the news eventually came through that the Duchess was in labor, in reality she had already given birth. The documentary marks the decision to handle the birth as they did as a turning point in the Sussexes' relationship with the press, with broadcaster Trevor Phillips claiming it was the moment Harry and Meghan appeared to not want to play the game. He said, "They made it clear that the historic convention, for example about pictures of a new infant, they weren't going to go with it. And at that point it became clear that, either they had not really grasped that in return for the fairy tale you have to give the people outside the castle something, or they just decided they didn't want to play the game. And the point at which you decide you're not going to play the game, don't expect other people to play by the rules." Camilla Tominey, associate editor at the Daily Telegraph, added, "Oh, so the baby was born in the early hours of this morning and I'm in a taxi on my way to be reporting that she's in labor when in fact it's a fait accompli? And by the way, they're not going to tell us much, including where the baby's been born, so if I'm asked live on air where the baby's been born, I won't be able to say that." The Duke and Duchess of Sussex shared the news of Archie's birth on their Instagram account and allowed for a very small photo call days later. Sky News royal correspondent Rhiannon Mills explained, "When we finally were introduced to Archie it was 3 days after he was born. They decided they wanted to do a very small photo call. Of course, Harry and Meghan quit the royal family in 2020, widening the rift between the Sussexes and the rest of the firm." Earlier this year, in a now infamous tell-all interview with Oprah, Meghan discussed her decision not to take the traditional photos on the hospital steps following Archie's birth. Meghan claimed her decision was based on a concern for Archie's safety. In response to Oprah suggesting it was perhaps a marker of Harry and Meghan wanting to do things their own way, the Duchess said, "That's not it at all." Amal Rajan's new documentary has caused significant controversy and added to tension between the BBC and the royal family. In a rare move, Buckingham Palace, Clarence House and Kensington Palace last week released a joint statement criticizing the program. The royal households believe the princes and the press to have made overblown and unfounded claims. The statement added that the firm were disappointed the broadcaster had given credibility to such claims. In particular, the royal family are unhappy that the documentary explored suggestions that negative stories about royal life were based on information leaked from people connected to other royal households. The statement added that the firm were disappointed the broadcaster had given credibility to such claims. In particular, the royal family are unhappy that the documentary explored suggestions that negative stories about royal life were based on information leaked from people connected to other royal households.